Burna Boy is the 45th most streamed artist on Spotify globally. But there's one particular song of his every Nigerian knows. But the story behind it is one most Nigerians have never heard before. Listen to this.
We're from the block where it rains, where we create barricades, keep our position away.
While Burna perfectly captures something real in those lyrics, he personally never lived in the blocks where it rained. Expensive private schools, university in London, he grew up comfortably in Port Harcourt. But you see, there's someone else inside that song who actually did. You probably heard this opening sample in the song 100 times. And nope, that's not an actor, not a writer, that's a real man describing real events that happened right here in Nigeria. His name is Epika Boy Victor Ben, known in the Niger Delta creeks as Boy Loaf. He grew up watching the Niger Delta produce the oil that funds the entire Nigerian economy, while the people sitting on top of that oil languished in poverty. So he picked up arms. And in June 2008, Boy Loaf led one of the most audacious attacks in Nigerian history, a speedboat raid on Shell's Bunga production vessels, 120 kilometers off the Nigerian coast. He was the commander of the movement of the emancipation of the Niger Delta, MEND. At the height of MEND's operation, they had reduced Nigeria's daily oil produce by 40%, from 2.6 million barrels a day to 1.6 million. Nigeria lost at least $23.7 billion in 2008 alone. And what's ironic was the military couldn't stop them. They knew the creeks more than any soldier. So the government did something different. They just had to negotiate. President Yar'Adua offered a presidential amnesty program, and Boy Loaf was one of the first commanders to accept it. So they laid down their arms. But you see, here's where the story turns completely. Boy Loaf, the man who led attacks on these oil companies, now owns a maritime oil and gas company that does subcontracting for these same oil companies. Well, now he sits in his home in Abuja and reminisces about speedboat raids. And in 2025, he graduated from Bears University with a first-class honors degree in international relations and diplomacy. So I guess he later became a businessman, a scholar, and his brother a member of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly. But before all of that, he gave a speech about what happens when the government refuses to develop its people, and the youth coming after him being more brutal than anything he has done. And well, Burna Boy found that speech and built a song around it. The Niger Delta produces the oil that has funded Nigeria since 1956. Yes, the communities living above it live without basic infrastructure. That's exactly what Boy Loaf said in that speech, and exactly what the song is named after. He made the monster by refusing to see the humanity of the people whose land feed the country. Burna Boy grew up comfortably in Port Harcourt, but he understood something. Comfort in a city built on someone else's suffering makes you responsible too.